Alright, what I thought I'd work on showing you today is how to create the illusion of a neon sign in a radial design. So what I've done is just kind of drawn a little bit of a radial design, and then I was going to show you how to kind of turn it into a neon sign. I have some previous slides that kind of take you step by step on how to draw the radial design, and I've done kind of half of it for you here, and I'll show you how to kind of do the other half. It's not too difficult, but there are some steps that you kind of need to follow. I like to start with my white pencil. Make sure that it's really sharp before you start so that you can kind of stay accurate. This is Prisma pencils. They are a little bit better than some of the others. I really find that they're nice and solid. And so what I'm going to do is just darken my guideline. And I want to try to keep this crisp. I used to do it last. I did the effect like you would in the order of the spray paint, but I found out that it's just easier to do this part first and then put the glow of the pastel on top to mimic the spray paint. So this is basically the faux spray paint neon sign technique, and I just developed it for you so we can use the supplies we have in the classroom and still get a very similar effect. What it relies on is the illusion of depth, the idea of highlights and shadows and cast light. So the supplies are kind of important. Being able to get the surface is going to be super important. So I use the Prismacolor first to get that nice crisp white line. And then I use a little bit of a pastel or a chalk pastel. And usually, as you saw in the video, the pastels need to be combined. So I'm going to use an orange and a red. Light never glows a single color. Optics are really a lot of fun. So the idea of casting more than one color from a light. So what I'm going to do is, this is just a pencil pastel. You can use a stick pastel and you can use child chalk. I would like to kind of maybe try this on a sidewalk, a dark asphalt sidewalk area. It could be a lot of fun. And then I'm just going to use my finger. It's okay on this because we're just doing a practice piece. If we were doing a piece to sell, I would say use a blending talon. Right? And then I'm going to put a little bit on the outside. And again, this is mimicking that dusting with the spray paint. And being a small detailed piece, it would be hard to do spray paint. Also, it's kind of hard to do spray paint in the classroom, especially with so many people. So what I'm going to do now is just going to put a little second color and blend. And remember, all art does so much better when you can do any sort of blending with your work. And notice I'm just kind of putting it right beside, and I'm not putting it everywhere because light never is going to cast exactly the same. And then I just picked up a pink. I thought the pink would help my work glow just a little bit more like a red light, because it seems to be giving off a red light, and I'm going to kind of put that in on top. And you can see this is moving pretty fast. I like to do one area at a time, and then I'll come back in the very end and kind of maybe work it all out together, but it's easier to do one section at a time. Then I love to use my gel pen. Okay, anyone will do, but I find this brand does a really good job. Now here's your scary thing. You do only get one try. If you come back over the gel pen while it's still wet, it does kind of make creases in your color, and you're going to get some different outlining. So be careful, try to fill it in as you go. The very end process, you see on one of them I did some diamonds to kind of emulate shiny light, and that's one of the things I would do in the very end. And again, don't try to have just a solid line, kind of let it break up like it would be a neon tube. And then maybe up here at the top, I can give it, and I do want to attach to my previous work, kind of a rounded. Now neon signs have to make certain curves, so it's probably mindful here is that you're really thoughtful about the curve that neon sign is making. It can't be a real tight pinch. It has to be kind of soft. And again, I've seen this effect quite a bit. The idea of using spray paint, it's a street art process. And it's a very quick effect, all right? And maybe up here, like I said, I can put a little sparkly light, kind of shining. And again, don't do too many of these. A little radiating light here. Okay, a little bit of a glow. Right, and I wouldn't do too many of those. Now the last thing that I like to do, now instead of using a black, I'm using an indigo blue. It's one of my favorites. Is that black line that might be a cast shadow, but I like to dust it. When I did it as a really hard line, it didn't seem to work really well. So I start kind of firm, maybe where like the sign might cast a bit of shadow, although if you are really lit up, it doesn't cast a shadow. This is just an effect to help with the optics of the illusions of depth. And again, I'm going to kind of fade. If you do everything the same, you lose the illusion. Maybe a little darker here. All right. As you can see, it goes pretty quick. And what I would do is just keep moving around and keeping my set the same. What I thought I'd do is keep a set to the outside, and when I get to the inside, I might use a second set and a third set to kind of change my colors. All right, happy creating.